Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 105 of CrossButton VR, our journey into the world of VR. Now, I'm your host, Laurie, and it is an honor to be joined by two of the most advanced influencers in the metaverse. It's Alex and Reece. Hello. Hello. How you both doing?
Golden.
All right.
Golden.
Does that mean?
Good.
Reece is, we've had to drag him away from Split Fiction
Yes.
tonight, audience. So, apologies if Reece is trying to wrap this up, but quicker than usual.
Next.
Yeah. It's fair to say you've been bitten by the Split Fiction bug.
Oh, I think everyone's going to. Anyone that likes some type of games is going to have a blast of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, let's start. Let's get the sad news out of the way with the bittersweet news. Alex, this is your last episode.
That is indeed my last episode.
I said I wasn't going to cry.
Very sad to say. Yeah, but time's come for me to not quite hang up my VR headset, but it's basically, effectively, that's what's happened over the last few months between one thing and another, and I'm not adding much at the minute, so I think it's best to let you guys get on with it and for me to leave at the right time.
I mean, we all go through phases, don't we? Of
yes,
just like I don't want to put the headset on, or I don't want to play big.
Yeah,
it's always like I can't face doing another big adventure game or another big whatever game, and you just so
you get to that stage. But never say never. You might see me again down the line, but I just feel like the time's right for me now to kind of move on to something a wee bit different, particularly actually a wee bit more focus on me for a wee bit more time at the minute. So
fair enough. We've we know you've been a lot going on. Life's been throwing things at you, so it's fair enough. But just promise me when, not if, but when Astrobot comes out, we'll get you back on.
Absolutely. When that happens, I will gladly reappear.
Sony, no pressure.
So basically by that, then you've got probably a good maybe 6, 7, 10 years away from VR. So yeah. Definitely.
PSVR 4 actually back. No. Well, obviously we are gutted, but we understand.
I'm gutted. I never thought. I knew the day would come eventually, but I didn't expect it to be this soon.
Hey, no, look, we've done 2 years. 2 years of this we've been going.
Indeed.
Who would have thought we'd be doing a podcast for 2 years? Not me. So, well, we've got that out of the way with. Let's just move on to the rest of the show because we've got a fair old bit to be talking about tonight. Just remind everyone, if you want to support us, give us a sub on whatever service they're using. Like and subscribe, leave us a comment, all that kind of stuff. Follow us on Blue Sky at CrossButton VR 2. So today I wanted to just delve in a bit of time because you may have heard, and Reece, you may have heard as well. I've actually got a Quest now. I bought a Quest 3. I didn't know if you knew that.
When did that happen?
Well, yeah, a few weeks ago.
Oh wow.
So I've been playing that, and I picked it up about the same week I picked it up. There was a fantastic article done by good friend of the show, Henry Stockdale on Upload VR. Yep, thanks. On Upload VR, just all around sort of the Quest, and I kind of read that. I think I read that before I actually got the headset, so it was like really interesting, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm really curious to see what this is going to be like when I play it. And I just wanted to spend a bit of time really just partly just giving my impressions of the headset as kind of new to Quest newcomer, but just it's really struck me just how different an ecosystem it is to PSVR 2. And I think if you've never picked up a Quest or put one on, it's quite hard to appreciate just the difference in, obviously there's kind of technical differences and stuff, but the whole, when you put that headset on, it's such a different ball game. And that was a genuine surprise to me. I hadn't kind of got my head around that before. So it's well worth reading the article on Upload VR, just talking about it's from Quest to Horizon. It's how Meta's shifting priorities are affecting developers, and it's because they did some questionnaires and some interviews with developers just as to how they're being impacted as Meta is kind of shifting more away from games and App Lab and just normal apps to more of this sort of Horizon Worlds based ecosystem.
They've even given the developer tools as well for like Horizon, so people can make their own things in it more. You got the desktop app and all that kind of stuff. So they're really kind of pushing for it because you can import items and try and make a game within that. I don't know how that will work.
It's kind of like Roblox on steroids, right? You can kind of make a game. And the article that Henry wrote was really just pointing out from developers, it's really hard now getting the visibility. You know, if you think it's bad on PlayStation, just getting that visibility on Meta. And what was really sort of shocking to me is that you've got the kind of app store, whatever they call it, that you can buy games from. But then you can also go onto the Horizon Worlds one, and it's got its own kind of app store in there, and they're all these essentially free to start, I guess, within app purchases. And there's lots of them are kind of like clones of just actual games that are kind of considered what Meta call kind of premium experiences, like actually paid for games. And you get like you go onto the Horizon Worlds thing, and the first thing you're going to see is a game. It's sort of like Power Wash, or just like Power, and it's just like a complete clone of Power Wash Simulator. And it's like, I can see why developers are slightly pissed off by all this, because Meta are essentially kind of shunting you towards this kind of Horizon, where it's just full of all these free to play games, and some of them are just very simple, straightforward, nothing to them. But the whole point is this: you can jump into them, and they're more social experiences you can jump into with your mates, rather than having to both buy a game. And there's another article they published on Upload just saying free-to-play apps now account for 70% of time spent on Quest, which, again, if you're trying to release a game in that sort of environment, it's be hard.
I mean, unless you like bloat it with in-app purchases, I suppose that's the only other thing you can do, isn't it?
Yeah, and it also seems to be like, even when I've had some developers contact around like checking out games and stuff, they're now looking to try some different models and going down this free to play with in-app purchases, essentially saying, well, essentially you can play the demo for free, or you can add like the story by purchasing this bit and purchasing that bit. You can understand why they're going that way, but I think even what I find is the worst, not the worst, well, it is the worst bit, but like, even now, and it is from that Quest to Horizon, and it's the point where they basically changed the Quest app to the Horizon app.
I remember
and
that
at
happened.
That point, it basically like, you're like, well, why are you showing me all this shit of Horizon Worlds that I have no interest in as soon as you go in? And it takes you like about 5 minutes to work out what you need to press on the app to find the actual store for games. And I know it is actually quite obvious when you work it out, but it's not really.
Yeah.
And it's almost like that as a secondary function of it, and it just feels like Horizon Worlds is going to be nothing without the developers, and if they don't treat the developers a bit better, then it just feels like we're spiraling a bit.
What? Go on.
No, on you go.
I say, I'm sure a lot of people will buy a Quest headset, put it on, and just jump into the Worlds and just start downloading some of the experiences in Worlds, and they'll never buy a game, and they may never discover, they might even realise that they're there to be bought, because the platform doesn't really require you to do so. You're in there, you're creating an avatar straight away, and you're dropped into the world and the that kind of futuristic skyline there. You can go into the Worlds, and you can walk down the world's kind of high street, and there's a few random games that they put on the town square, and you can go to like the concert zone. I watched the Sabrina Carpenter VR concert. My God, it was shit. It was so shit.
I think you watched one, didn't we, Alex? I can't remember which one we watched. We did some other bits and bobs.
It was like Doja Cat or something awful.
What a headache. What a headache that whole thing was.
This is so bizarrely crap. Like, what on earth is this all about? And I just think, but I think a lot of people would just be like, well, that's what it is. You put the VR on, and you can go around to see some concerts, and there's like, I went to like there was a store on the high street that was like a stand-up comedy world. So I was like, walked into that, and there was a stage, and there was like no one there. I was like, okay, so there was no one actually performing. You started telling jokes, didn't you? No, well, I was like, could I just go up on stage and it would then broadcast me? I was like, what sort of hellscape is this I've accidentally wandered into? It's like, and you think like, if all of this clicked and it worked, it was full of people and actual comedians were here, then maybe. But it's just, I don't know. It just all seems so like naff, and just all the content. It just really reminds me of like Roblox and all those kind of, when you go on Fortnite, there's all these kind of Fortnite things now in the Epic
Yeah.
launcher that are all these like knockoff, just shite games that are designed to be for kids to pick them up and spend their V-Bucks or whatever on, and they go on. I don't know what Quest currency is, but you go into these games and you just run out for free and you play it and you luck about with your mates and stuff. And don't get me wrong, my son, who's 9 years old, if I let him play on the Quest, which I haven't ever done, sorry Zach, but he would I'm sure he would love it. And if he had a friend that he could say, oh, let's do that tonight, and they would meet up in it, and it would probably be they'd do power wash him or whatever together, and they'd probably have a great fun. But I'm like, that's just doesn't feel good for the future of video games.
I cannot condone that.
Well.
And it's almost quite ironic where we yearned for so long for PlayStation to probably go more down the route of where Quest was going and have something a bit more interactive around how it's working and all those different things. And now we're like at the stage where Quest have just taken it too far, and you're like, no, pull it back. Like they just need a bit of somewhere in the middle ground.
Yeah, I think everyone gets that curiosity though. I may say everyone, probably not everyone, but I think when you first get the question, you go, "Oh, Horizon, let's jump into it." Because I think when me and you jumped into it, it was probably either the first time we've ever tried it, or maybe you tried it before.
Yeah.
And that was the curiosity there, and instantly we was like, "Ugh, don't like that." And then the second curiosity I had was when I found out there was a world for The Office, and I was like, "Okay, right, I love The Office US. I want to go check that out." That's the only time I've played Meta Horizon, and I'm like, I don't mind this. This actually looks like The Office. It's very well made, and it looks decent. But then I ended up finding out there's actually a team of developers that have worked on other games before, and that's probably why it's got that good build to it. At the same point, it's still ruined by the amount of loud noises absolutely screeching down my ears, but it looks like The Office. So there you go. I can say I walked around Dunder Mifflin.
Is it? Yeah, I wonder if they make you kind of go down a Ready Player One type route for inspiration. I don't know if you've seen that film or read the book where they go into all these kind of, but they're like it's kind of photorealistic and it's amazing, and it's like, oh, I'm in Back to the Future world, or you can kind of recreate anything.
If it got to that, awesome, but it won't. Not right on a standalone headset. Hell no.
Well, yeah, it's not even the kind of fidelity I'm talking about. It's more you're just going on these like really crap knockoff versions of stuff, and it just seems really just depressing.
I tried one of the shooting games on it as well, Meta Horizon, because I was curious, and the hit detection was absolutely dreadful to the point where I was like, nope, screw this. I've never raged quit out of VR before, but that was enough for me. I was like, no.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's made by, I don't want to say amateur game devs, because I'm sure some of them are incredibly talented, but it's not. If you're a proper game development studio now, you must be thinking, well, we could just make a premium paid for game, or we can try and as a team develop something that's going to be the best thing anyone's ever seen in Horizon Worlds, and it'll become the Gorilla Tag of Gorilla Tag's another thing. There's loads of knockoff Gorilla Tags in there, and it's like it's just so it's just so confusing for consumers. It's like, hold on, so I thought it was Gorilla Tag, but now I'm in Horizon Worlds. I can't see Gorilla Tag. I can see something that's like Tag Gorilla or Monkey Tag. Maybe that's what my friend meant. I'm going to play that instead. And it's like, it's just bad for consumers and it's bad for developers. And I just think a lot of people will try it and be like, oh, this is shit. And there's tons of amazing fucking games on there. It's really hard to find them. And I think if you get on the catalogue, the Quest thing, whatever they call it, you get some visibility from that. So that's good if you become in the Quest Plus catalogue. I'm sure the monthly free games, you're part of the catalogue. I'm sure people are finding a lot of games through that. But otherwise, there's no, I knew from things talking to you and from just obviously following the industry that, okay, I can plug in and I can search for specific games that I wanted to play and download. But there's nothing, if you go on the store, beyond the kind of Batman, there's nothing. It's really hard to see.
They have like the new releases and pre-orders or things coming soon. There is a section for that, but it's like right down the bottom. It's not there.
And it's always a nightmare to find. I always try and find that section. I'm like, where is it?
I Google it now. I go on Google and I search coming soon to Quest to find the actual link to what's coming soon. I don't go through the app. I did find actually searching the store better inside the headset, but again, it's still a bit of a mess to the point where you look at some games and like you said, you don't know whether that's something to do with Horizon Worlds or if it is an actual game you're buying for your Quest to play. And I think that's where the confusion is. They really need a section where it's like, this is Horizon Worlds, this is the store for the games where you can buy, this is free to play. They just need to categorize it better. They need to, allocate space for developers to actually showcase their games that are coming and because it is. It's like Steam. Like I've always said, searching for a VR game on Steam has been one of the worst things I've ever done. When I got PC VR, I was like, how am I even finding a game to play on this thing? I know some that I've got already I can try, but then trying to find anything else that I've never heard of, I started looking on Twitter, I started looking on YouTube for PC VR stuff because I couldn't find it on Steam, and that's exactly how Quest Store has come. And it's a shame because it wasn't like that when I first got my Quest. Sure, it was a bit messy. You'd search some games, you wouldn't be able to find them because they'd be in the what was the old thing? There was like an early
App Lab thing.
Yeah, App Lab, that was it. And sometimes you wouldn't be able to find them there. But now it's just got to the point where you search a game, you can't find it at all, and you have to go through a link to get to that game. And that you shouldn't have to do that. If I search a game's full title, I should be able to find it. So
and not see the kind of clones of it next to it.
Exactly.
Similar names.
That's inappropriate. Like they should be
free. Because they'll mix in, if you search for it, they'll mix in the thing that you were looking for, which might be a £20 game, but then they'll show you the free knockoff of it that's in Horizon Worlds, and you think, well, I'm a kid with no money. I'll just, that looks kind of good enough. I'll play that. And that's
I even do remember situations where like games have released and they're like, oh, you can get it on the App Store. I'm like, but I'm searching, but I can't find it. And then you search and nothing comes up, and the developer actually had to give us the link to the game for it to show in the App Store.
It's crazy.
It's also why, like, anytime I do a video now, if I'm covering like a Quest game, I put the link to the game I'm covering just because I know how much of a rigmarole it is for people to be like, oh, this game isn't out, I can't find it. Like, well, it is out, I'm playing it.
I mean, all these digital stores, to me, they should have a team, whether it's PlayStation or whoever, who should be like playing the games that are submitted and think, right, we are now going to put you in the store. Same like if you go to John Lewis, they're not just selling anything on the shelves. A buyer is selecting things and like, okay, this is good enough to go on our shelves. And then they could have a sort of a more of a marketplace, user-generated content that's a bit more of a Wild West. But if I go on open the digital store, I just want to look in the shop that you are created, that you have kind of approved and you've said it's good enough to appear on the shelves next to The Last of Us and whatever else it is. I don't want to see all of the kind of cheap knockoff games that are free to play just shite that I've got no interest in, and they're just going to confuse me or distract me and distract other people and stop them from playing the games that I want people to be playing, because I want people to make more of those games. I want developers to be able to make it a viable platform, and that's what I worry. I worry that Quest is going to just not be viable for developers, and then PlayStation's not going to be viable for developers because there's not enough VR headsets being sold over there, and just the market just never reaches the potential.
Just going narrow
it
again.
Could be, and we see that with all the bloody studios that are shutting down all the time and stuff. Because if you see like Metro, they say disappointing sales. It's like, well, because I'm surprised if anyone bought it on Quest, because there's probably about 10 different Metro.
It got good sales on Quest, I think.
It did. Oh, well, I'm
yeah,
sure.
It did. I think it was like a good mixture between all platforms. But I think, again, that comes back to the whole same thing with what Ubisoft said. Their expectations are going from them developing non-VR games to putting that game into VR and expecting the same thing. It's never going to happen. And I think that's where their expectations are coming from. I don't think it's necessarily low sales in terms of a VR game. I think it probably performed quite well. Probably not the best as like some others like Bone Lab or Ghost of Tabor, Saints and Sinners, but it probably did well for a VR game in this standard market, I think.
I mean, just to don't want to build doom and gloom, like having picked up the Quest 3 headset, it's fucking incredible. Like the technology there, I'm forever picking it up, thinking how is this thing so small? And okay, it's not as technically powerful as PlayStation, but then there's nothing to it. It's amazing. It's not that far off. Like I can't really tell the difference between games like obviously like Walkabout. There's going to be no difference at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, certain experiences you can notice any difference at all. It's so light, it's so comfortable to wear. The pass through is so remarkable, and when it's doing stuff like you have kind of a browser, you have like Netflix playing, and you have all these windows open, and it's like this is so clever and so cool. It's so easy to use and so intuitive, and the fact you can just pinch the virtual keyboard and start typing on it and sort of move it where you want it. You can move the windows around. It just, that side of things, it feels so well iterated and refined, and like that bit to me feels like it's kind of the finished article, and it's the I think it's comfortable. I don't have any kind of headsets or anything, any different straps other than the default one. I think it's fine.
It feels very premium as well, I think.
So
headset. For
sure, completely. So premium. It's got just the right level of weight to it. It's not uncomfortable. It feels not cheap. It's the thing. And the controllers. I think I prefer the controllers to the Sense ones, just because I like the way they're pushing in the grip buttons. I always find that annoying on the PlayStation ones. You have to push it a little bit too hard. Well, you have to push it a little bit too hard. Or if you hold, that's why I always use a toggle grip, because keeping that thing held down for a while is uncomfortable, I think. But on this, it's not at all. It's not at all on the Quest. So I think the second trigger, the kind of middle finger trigger, is much more comfortable on the Quest. And I'm so impressed by the headset. I think it's just such a shame though that the ecosystem lets it down and all that Horizon stuff. Also, final rant on the Horizon stuff was the fucking notifications for constant Horizon World things I might be interested in. I was like, I've switched off all notifications for like everything now. I've gone in and just.
I think I just uninstalled the Horizon Worlds in the end.
Well, yeah, you can uninstall it. Yeah,
I may end up doing that. I thought I'd leave it on just in case there's like some event or something that I'm actually interested in, or to see if it gets better. Just for kind of out of kind of curiosity, really. I have no interest in ever going in, but I've switched all the notifications now, so it's not badgering me. But again, that wasn't that easy to do, so it's constant hassle for that.
I thought I was getting the notifications as well, but it just turned out it was you inviting me to Horizon World, so I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah. I think I was like, I wonder if this would be any better if there was someone you knew.
It isn't. It really isn't.
It's not.
If anything, you both bounce off each other going, what the fuck is this? What's going on? And you start getting angry, and then you start like, I have enough. Go.
Obviously, Quest is obviously great for. I downloaded that big screen app as well. You can watch like films sat in a cinema
really cool.
room. Obviously, there's other 3D video content on there as well, which is pretty cool. I
like the look of one Alex used before. Is it Moon Player?
Yeah, something
that
like
one
that.
looked quite cool. You got change all the environments around you, can't you? And I thought that looked really nice.
So yeah, Quest, good hardware, cool games, dodgy ecosystem, and it's just depressing that that's where Meta are kind of really sort of pushing quite hard. And I wonder if they get sort of pushed back and swing back against it, but they probably won't, to be honest, because that is what there's far more people like my son out there who are getting these headsets. There's so many teenagers that are getting these headsets that have got all the time in the world but no money and are happy to play these games where it's just time spent and being in that world, and they'll get money still just by racking up the hours of people playing these free to play games. So that's depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I'll stick with my PlayStation. But I think that's if you've never picked up a Quest, and I think if you're into just want to play games, then I do think the PlayStation is probably the better option for that. And obviously, if you want other stuff as well, then you can't get that all on PlayStation, so you do need to go for the Quest. But I think because if you just want a focused experience that's just about games and it's easier to find games, and that for me would be my preference for it. So I can see. Because I can have the Quest up in my office, I can have it away from the TV. It's probably more convenient to jump into some games like that, but I don't think I'd ever want to play like a Metro on the Quest when I could play that on the PlayStation.
That's
or
step
Behemoth.
Yeah, like if you've got the game on both platforms, I always opt for the PlayStation version.
Yeah. Cool. Final thing, we'll move on to the news now, but the first bit of news we'll talk about is Max Mustard and Richie's Plank Experience. So Toast have clearly fallen out with Meta. They've been delisted from the Quest store. So clearly developers and Quest are not seeing eye to eye. And I think those are two of the most highly regarded games on Quest. I mean, Richie's Plank Experience is like a real kind of party experience that you do to kind of laugh at your mates who think they're going to fall off a building. And obviously, Max Mustard is beloved on Quest and PSVR 2, mainly by us.
Exactly.
But, they've not revealed a reason why this is at the moment. And if you've bought the game previously, you can still re-download it, but it's no longer available to be bought. So, yeah.
I have no idea what's gone on there. No idea.
The only thing I was wondering about is if there's been some sort of reason or argument around, it was that whole Richie's Plank Experience rip-off game that appeared, and whether they tried to do something about that. And
you're the only person I've seen that's actually raised that as a concern. Everyone has been saying about the 90% discount, and I'm like, everyone else did that afterwards, though. Like, surely you're gonna have to start seeing all these other games start falling off. But that's a valid point. It is pretty much the exact same game, isn't it? Yeah.
So you don't know what kind of issues that's caused or whatever. But who knows? We'll probably never find out.
I don't think we will. I think it's pretty locked behind legal NDAs to the point where they can't say anything, and neither parties will. Maybe it'll come back one day and just crack on as normal.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping they can work it out. It might be like, because Mark Zuckerberg's like friends with Trump now. He's like, just delete it. We're going to put some tariffs on them until they decide to play along and do what we tell them to do. So maybe they'll work it out and they'll get it. They'll all calm down and they'll get it back on there. Let's hope. There's probably loads of all these Plank Experience and Max Mustard knockoffs now there.
There is one that's like identical. The one that I know on X talk about. I think it's called like Walk the Plank or something. I can't.
Something like that.
Absolutely identical to the point with the elevator, the same building assets. It's just a little bit different, and it's like you're kidding me. It's a bit too close for comfort. So yeah.
Cool. Well, let's move on to the rest of the news. And this first story, the next story, when I first heard it, I was like, that sounded a bit stupid. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, actually, that's a pretty cool thing. So Sony in the UK have now launched this rental service. So you do it directly through their website, and it's like a partner they've gone on there. It kind of is provided by. But you can essentially rent any PlayStation hardware you want. So PS5, PS5 Pro, Portal, and a PSVR 2. And I was like, that is just weird, isn't it? Why would you want to do that? And it's not particularly good value. You can rent it. So if you wanted to rent it for 3 years, so on a 36-month lease, it's £13 a month. Which I suppose if you can't afford, it's a bit like mobile phones and stuff. If you can't afford it, but after the end of the lease period, you have to hand it back. You don't get to keep it, so it's not particularly efficient.
So you just turn up at your door, give me back my hardware.
Or there's be a penalty on it. So I mean, £13 for 36 months,
easier.
You'd end up paying £468, and then you'd have to send it back again. So that's a pretty dumb way of buying it, to be honest. You can get it on a 12-month lease if you just it's £25 a month, which again isn't great. But what I thought would actually be quite a useful case for it is on the monthly rolling one, so no contract, is $33.50. Now, if you're someone that probably doesn't listen to this podcast because people presumably already have a PSVR 2, but say you're one of our audience and one of your friends kind of interested in VR, but they're not sure if they'd like it, or they're not sure, they're worried if they're just going to put £400 down and then they're going to get motion sickness and they're not going to play anything, and they're going to go do a Ben. Actually, putting down £33 to rent one for a month is a pretty great way of finding out, actually, I love this medium. I want to buy one of these. It's a kind of a great way to try before you buy it for a month. Find out if you are kind of able to deal with it, if you can get over that VR seasickness, if you are, I've never had any problems with PSVR 2 on that side of things. So, I've been lucky there. But, if you're someone that's worried about putting down that a lot of money for something that you may not be able to play or you may not enjoy, I think you can just rent it for a month, £30. That's not a huge amount of money. Join PS Plus as well. You don't have to commit to buying any games. It's a great way to dip your toes in.
And you've got to imagine that they're not, if you're going to get to keep Rise and call them out, because how are they going to take it back
That's
off
a good
you?
point, yeah.
That's a fair point. Yeah, how are they going to take that back off you?
Give us the money back for the game, please. Now you've sent the headset back.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to, if it logs out somehow. I don't know. Because otherwise it's a great price just to get. Otherwise, I've never seen it for £30 before. So.
Yeah.
But
do that.
I suppose if you send it back, then Horizon becomes useless to you, doesn't it? But
unless you get to keep it on your account, I mean, they can't really. I suppose they can.
You keep it in your account. You pick up a cheaper PSVR 2 at some point. You have it there.
Yeah, I suppose they could remove the licensing from your account. Maybe you have to put your account in, then they remove the game afterwards. Who knows?
But to rent a PS5 for like a month would just be the actions of a madman. And even to rent one for 3 years is not a particularly sensible way of doing it. And I wouldn't recommend anyone do that, because just buy it and just find someone like some shopping website that would actually let you pay it off, or what do they call it? Klarna. They just let you spread the payments.
Pay in 3 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, paying 36. But the fact that you're paying more than the cost of it over 3 years, and you
still give it back.
You have to then hand it back. That's a very stupid way of doing it.
I mean,
but for the 1 year, for the 1 month one, then I can see there's a total valid. But there is a sort of person that I can see that being useful for.
I feel like if they did like the kind of thing like you can do that, but then at the end of the tenure, you can turn around and go, actually, Joe, I decided I want to keep this. And they'll be like, all right, well, cool, we'll discount the amount you've done for a certain amount of months, and then you have to pay X just to kind of cover the cost, and then you can keep it. I think because otherwise they're sending back these headsets, and what, they're just going to go to somebody else.
Yeah, they're going to.
They better be bloody cleaning them. Like they better be.
Who's going to want a 3-year-old headset?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's, yeah, like
I think it says at the end of the term, there is a fee to keep the device. So
okay.
And presumably that fee will go down between now.
The longer you've had it, or something like that.
Yeah, or the longer just the price of them fall in the market, don't they? Or just the resale value falls. So anyone out there that's got someone that's been on the fence and they're not sure if they want to commit to buy a headset, they're not sure if it's for them or not, then tell them this is a way, if they're willing to put up with the faff of getting sent one, well, that's not too bad, but then sending it back again at the end of the month. I think it's a good way to try out. Yeah, if you're nothing else, you could just play Horizon, which is worth paying 30 quid for, just to play Horizon, if you ask me.
Or, some of them people that are really intrigued of playing Metro, like, I can't play it. Now you can just quickly get it, play that, 8 hours, send it back, sorted.
Yeah, exactly.
Bosh.
There you go.
I mean, but why would you want to lease a DualSense Edge?
What, you can release a DualSense Edge?
You could lease a DualSense Edge.
That's weird, isn't it?
Someone
else's
even the Portal one,
controller.
It's a relatively cheap enough device. Like, why would you want to lease it? I don't. Yeah, odd. It is very odd.
Yeah,
I know. Maybe someone's asked for it at some point. Someone's commenting slightly.
$7.50 a month. So I'm gonna.
Someone's just commented one day. Went, I really wish I could like rent out a PSVR 2 or a PS5. And they're like, Joe, what? That's a fucking brilliant idea. Let's do that.
I'll tell you what. If there's anyone out there that rents a DualSense Edge for $7.50 a month for 36 years and then sends it back after 3 years after spending 270 quid on it, then don't go into business with anyone. just get some help. Yeah,
keep yourself to yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. Just don't even put that online. Don't even tell anyone. Just
don't tell anyone you've done that.
Not your family, not your friends. All right, you don't even write that down. That just stays away. Yeah, you lock that away forever.
Yeah. Anyway, right, moving on. If anyone does rent a PSVR 2, please tell us.
Somebody's just hovering over the button now, click rent, and then this is just like, okay, I'm not going to do it now.
Do it for 1 month and then send it back and buy one. Right, next up, we've had a trailer today for a new game being revealed. I think it's been a new game revealed.
Yes, it is a new game revealed.
It's called Get Out.
Boom.
Get Out. So this is a new game, and it does not look like one that I will be playing.
I've played the previous one.
Does look like a good Reece game there.
Yeah. So
was the previous one? Don't come in.
No, it's Very Bad Dreams. So it's another part of that. So I played the previous one. It was received mixed reviews. It got better, got worse, then got better. But it's one of them games where I really liked the concept of it, like the horror elements, the way it taps into, all these different things that somebody would get scared of, like all the different phobias. But it worked in them really well, like being chased or giant spiders, and that hit. I think it was like, it might have been clowns at one point. I can't remember, but there was like all these different things. It was just an overly creepy game with some light combat elements, puzzles. It was well done in that sense, like the mechanics, like you having to cover your ears so you kind of don't go insane when things are screaming, and they really thought it all out. But it's a relatively small team. I'm going to say it's 3 people. I didn't know there was going to be pumping out another one, so I have spoke to them about it just because I was like, well, I didn't hear anything. I didn't know this was coming. Why didn't you tell me? Kind of thing. So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it because I did enjoy Very Bad Dreams. So I'm looking forward to giving this a go. And it does come with a DLC, which is, I believe it's Dean's Dreams, which is where you play as
Dean.
You play as Dean when he's a baby, which they did a similar DLC, or it might have been the same DLC in Very Bad Dreams. And it was really weird. Because as you could imagine, playing as a baby in VR is very fucking odd.
Sounds very weird, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, you have to like crawl and then you knock things over, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not, but this feels weird. Like I can't walk, So my arms are like 10 times smaller than my actual arms. It was really throwing off my mental psyche. I was like, this is not doing well for me. So, but the game itself was genuinely pretty good, in a sense. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So anyone that's not seen the trailer, you're basically, is it like you're in a
it's like a mental asylum, yeah, and
you've
patients
got a bag over your head, and you're walking through the corridors, and you can see through the bag, and there's just like, oh, shit's breaking loose. Like,
so I think the synopsis is basically you're in a mental asylum, patients are being tested on, and they're doing all different things, and the things that are actually moving around the asylum are actual previous patients that have had these different tests happen to them and things like that. And again, but a very bad dreams had a similar kind of front. It was like you was in and out of this asylum, then going back to your home, and so it's a very similar thing. And it obviously you can tell the implementation and the actual connection to the original one. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to giving it a
go. Well, no date on that one. One game that has been also got a trailer today on the PlayStation YouTube channel. That does have a date, and this Electrician Simulator. Which is coming out on the 21st of March. So anyone that's ever wished they could be an electrician, now's your chance. And I have watched this trailer. It looks like a very straight-laced simulator of being an electrician. So if you ever had to spark you around to do any work in your house and thought to yourself, I could do that. That's easy. What's he doing? It's just, why am I paying this guy so much money? I could do this myself. Now's your chance to find out if you can or not.
And then try it at home.
Yeah. I wonder if you're going to have disclaimers like, please do not do anything in the game and then think you're actually a qualified electrician and start WeWire your own home.
Oh, I mean, some things. Wouldn't recommend doing all electric works.
I do a bit, yeah. If I change a plug, I can change a light fitting, but I'm not. I think
that's kind of where my skills end. It's the plugs and light switches I can just about manage.
Wiring an oven's probably the limit. I think I'd probably push myself to trying. I think.
You know what? I replaced the grill element on my other one. I felt very like my kids were well impressed.
You was like,
sitting there taking the old one out. It's like, what am I going to do?
Right now, let's order a takeaway.
Yeah, I fucked that up. So come on, that one, new oven.
Just gonna order one now.
She said the new oven. You're only working on the grill. I was like, yeah,
fucked it all.
Fucked it, mate.
So is it how it worked in VR?
Yeah, it was easy in VR. So that's coming on 21st of March for PS4 2, Steam and Quest. Reece tells me convincingly, I don't think he's lying to me or making it up, that there's already an Electrician Simulator on flat. But
yes, came out in 2022.
I mean, who wants to play a flat version of a simulator game when you can
I liked House Flipper. I liked House Flipper. I found that very therapeutic. But then the VR version came out. I was like, what the fuck have you done to me? So yeah, it was a very big slap in the face, the VR version of so I'm glad I've not played Electrician Simulator non-VR because now I have nothing to compare it to.
Well, not long to wait for that one, 21st of March. Get in there quick before Wanderer and Hitman. I like your style, Electrician Sim.
I look forward to giving it a go.
Something else you may be looking forward to giving a go is Synth Riders DLC or some new Synth Riders DLC. And this is titled Current Waves. I'm actually got excited about this because when I saw this, my brain just passed over the word Synth Riders and just assumed this was a Beat Sabers thing. But actually, it's a Synth Riders thing, so that's even more exciting. This is Current Waves, which is going to have Charlie XCX, hot off the Brit Award success, Jack Harlow, Artemis, Sia, David Guetta, Feat, One Republic. So they're all artists whose songs will feature in the new pack for Synth Riders. Always worth checking out new packs for Synth Riders because they're all great. Can't imagine it's going to be as good as the 80s one, but then that may be because we are children of the 80s. Alex and I.
Even I really enjoyed the 80s pack. Like, I think it just fits so well with the game, more so than any other pack.
There's nothing quite like doing Synth Riders to wake me up before you go.
Yeah.
Getting your jitterbug going. Like, that was
singing along to it the whole time.
For me, it was Take On Me. But look, let's not talk about that pack. This is a new pack.
But go buy that one as well.
I look forward to playing, I think it's Apple by Charlie XCX.
Is that?
Yeah.
Is that a song?
That's like the biggest.
I think actually,
I think
that's it's the song that's on it. I'm going to be honest, that's the only song of hers I know of. Every time I've mentioned this artist, my partner tells me, "Oh, they made this song as well." So clearly, they know more about this artist than me.
I see Alex, old Charlie XCX, back when she done like Boom Clap and stuff.
Yes, that's like, that's what my partner said. She's like, "Oh,
because that was in the Fault in Our Stars film.
Okay, all right, that's why she knows of her."
I heard a song of hers called "Guess," and that was a rude song, my friends. It was a rude song.
Rude.
Yeah, I went
It's
to the
a rude song.
I went to the MetaQuest
I think
Horizon
Apple's
tour.
quite rude as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I went to the Horizon tour for Charlie XCX because, but why not? And I tell you what, that is the one thing that should have never been on that headset. There is kids watching that. That was inappropriate.
But you still enjoyed it. You still enjoyed it, though.
No, I left. it was awful.
This is an outrage.
Even I was like, no, that's too much to me. No,
This is
thank
an
you.
outrage.
I don't like this. No, get me out of this.
Well, for those that is Apple is the song that's in there.
Yeah.
Jack Harlow's, I don't know Jack Harlow, but Loving on Me, Artemis, I Like the Way You Kiss Me, Sia, Give Me Love, and there we get it.
I like the way you kiss me.
Wanna wait.
You're
is it that
gonna
one?
miss me.
Ooh, I like that song.
Miss.
How? What? Alex, you sure? Who else are going to sing when there's moments of singing? We need to just record you singing lots of stuff that we can then edit in just at opportune moments.
Why couldn't they chose like Chandelier from Sia? I know that song.
Because that's old.
Yeah,
And it wouldn't be very good. Like, but it doesn't.
That's a good song.
It's a good song.
It is,
Good
yeah.
song. Okay, well, Sim Fridays. That's out now, by the way. So go get it if you're a big fan of Charlie XCX. ExoCars is now out on PSVR 2. So
it
you
is.
can
Finally.
play that. Yeah, play that. Have you guys managed to jump into that one yet?
I've tried it.
I haven't.
I am
How is it?
terrible at racing games. The game itself, though, looks pretty decent, and the haptics felt really good. It played fine, but yeah, I've never been good at racing games in VR or outside of VR. I think the only one I was decent at was Forza Motorsports 3. That was the last time I really sunk time into a racing game. But yeah, no, it looks good, plays well. No issues really with it so far. I mean, I did 2 races just to get a little bit of a feel for it, and I just kept crashing. I did finish first though on one of them, which I was quite proud of myself. But you're only kind of like chasing.
The tutorial.
I think it was, and you. It looks like you're just chasing ghosts though. You're not actually like racing against other vehicles, which kind of takes away that kind of feeling of sense of being there and things around you. It just feels like I'm just racing around an empty track.
Well, yes. So this game already came out on Quest and Steam, and it was delayed on PSVR 2 because of certification issues it was having. And even though it's out now, it still doesn't have its multiplayer mode, which is still being held up by certification and stuff, which is kind of surprising me. They
Weird.
launched a game like this without the multiplayer mode. Doesn't
and then there was the whole thing of them removing wheel support, and then people going really mad. And then within the day, going, "Okay, we're bringing back wheel support." So now they've patched that. I think it's a day one patch to patch that back in, and it's just. I think they've made it more messy for themselves than it really needed to be. But even when you load up the game, it's like you look at the multiplayer thing, and it's like coming by this date, and it's like by this date. So you're certain it's going to be by that date, and you're not going to keep changing that to push it back. Because I don't know, but
just say coming soon.
Yeah, exactly. Just say coming soon. Like, don't give a date because you're going to get people going. Well, you lied to us, you know. And again, and I know we all like PSVR 2, but we know how the community of PSVR 2 can be. You know, we're all the same. No, I've said it so many times. You know, they're very passionate, and when something's not accurate, they're first to scream about it, and rightfully so. You know, if somebody says this is going to happen, then stick to your word. But it's yeah, just like Alice said, just say coming soon. It's like what Undead Citadel have done. They've never given a date to their game, and it's always coming soon to PSVR 2. That's it. Stayed like that.
Yeah, Wanderers had 27 release dates, so
one day
just
might get pushed back. It might get pushed back. Who knows?
No,
So
not long now. Wanderer, 20 days today.
I will laugh my head off if we get a week before release. Like, guys, we pushed it back by 2 months.
Oh, we've
like
only got 3 weeks, so it's come down.
Yeah,
no,
I will cry with laughter. I tell you.
Yeah, bet it comes out in April.
It's
a
just
few days delayed.
It's just a joke at this point. It's like Madison all over again, isn't it? Like,
I mean, coming out in April is not that unheard of. You just get a last minute hold up due to certification. But anyway, ExoCars is a game that has made it out, so congratulations to the devs at ExoCars. If you like your races, and there's not that many races on PSVR 2, this is one for you. So yeah, cool. Reece, what have you been playing other than ExoCars?
I've been playing Farming Simulator on Quest.
Nice.
It's quite peaceful. Like, it takes elements from loads of different games, obviously. You've got like your crops to tend to. You've got your vehicles that you have to work on. I say vehicles, actually tractors and things like that, and you have to like take off the tires, put the bolts back in and all that kind of stuff, and like all that's cool. But then there's mild jank that was like when I was trying to take the wheel off the tractor, like the wrench wasn't working, and I was literally going, why is this thing working? Like getting really frustrated with it. And then it started doing it automatically, and I was like, "No, this is VR. You don't you dare do that. You're taking away my independency here." It was odd. That section was odd, but cleaning your tractors and things like that, and planting seeds, that was all really peaceful. And I think I'm going to play more of it. I've put a little bit of time in it just to get like the tutorial section and gone through that, and I think what they're trying to get at is pretty decent, but I think the execution could be a little bit better. But I also don't think it's the worst thing I've played. I just think the tutorial is enough to make people go, nah, I'm not interested in that, because there's quite a lot of elements to the tutorial and I think that's the problem with certain tutorials on VR games. There's a point where they don't show enough, or there's a point where they show too much, and this is more into the section of it being too much, to the point where I'm like, can I just learn myself now what to do and then press an information button to if I get stuck? But no, it's like, now go on this part of the map and click here, and it's like, okay, cool. It's like, now you can do this. Brilliant. Okay, so you go do that, and it starts telling you more and more different things to do in that section. And I'm like, okay, so there's 12 points of interest in my greenhouse on how to plant seeds and throw things in the compost. Although I like that side of it, the 12 points of interest of a tutorial was not necessary. So far, it's intriguing me, and I'm looking forward to trying a little bit more. So hopefully I'll speak a little bit more about that when I get time to play a bit more of it. But first impressions, doesn't look too bad on the Quest. Works pretty well. Didn't notice any frame stuttering in the tutorial sections, but overall, yeah, it's not the worst looking game I've seen, and it works fine at the moment. So my views may change, though, obviously. But as I say with anything, this is more of a first impressions.
Okay, well, that's £22 if anyone's looking to pick that one up. And it does you can power wash big tractors as well. Which
you can.
I think for that alone.
It does not give you a ding, though, like Power Wash Simulator. And that's it. Because I was washing it and I was like, okay, how do I know I've cleaned this section? I've not had the ding. And then I was looking at the top of the tractor. It's like, you've got 0.8% left to clean. I'm like, well, I don't know what bits I've fully cleaned now because you've not given me the ding. So, yeah, that was quite funny.
Fair enough. Well, I have actually finished a VR game, which doesn't happen these days because there's so much to play these. But Down the Rabbit Hole, which is admittedly a very short game. But I started it last week. I talked about it a little bit.
Yep,
so,
you did.
Yeah, I have now finished it, and I highly recommend it. I think it's a really, really great experience. I liked that it was giving me kind of things to do and puzzles to solve that were not like any other sorts of things I've done before. I like finding new things to do. I like playing. There's some puzzles in it, or just the way you kind of put your head in these levels, and then you can sort of spin them around and pull yourself into them and out of them and stuff. It felt very like you were just like interacting with a toy. It was like when you stick I don't know, maybe it's just because I've been playing with my daughters a lot in their Barbie dream house, and you sort of put your face up against this kind of it's like kind of like that. You've got these kind of like little dolls houses. You're going through these little the Queen of Hearts castle and the rabbits little burrow and stuff. So you're going through all these little environments, and you can really poke your heads in and look around and stuff. And they're really just sweet to look at. They're really it's very magical and fairy tale-y, and it's wonderful. It's all really nice and tactile, and you can reach out and touch things and interact with stuff. And some of the puzzles you have to play with the environments around, and you can switch into first person at some points as well. The character you're controlling, it's just very nice and whimsical, and I big fan of it.
Good.
Nice. Just the way you were describing like the going through it and stuff. Has Witchfire been on your list?
Oh, that's a good one.
In terms of stuff to try, because I'm just thinking about it. And I think you would quite enjoy it. I might buy that for you.
Ooh, what a treat!
Yeah,
He's gonna have a look at it now. He's searching it.
I will. One word. Witchfire. No, I should check that out. But yeah,
Yeah, it
I'm
looks
looking
really
forward
good.
to.
I think you would like it. Just the way you were talking about that in terms of how you go through it and how it's structured and how it's like mixed reality and stuff as well. I think you would like it.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll check it out. Obviously, there's Down the Rabbit Hole, and then there's a follow-up of Escaping Wonderland as well, which I've got lined up to play. Maybe next, or maybe I'll play some other stuff and then come back to that in a bit. But yeah, very much recommend those games. And especially if they're hard to find on Quest, then you can listen to this now and go search for Down the Rabbit Hole. I've no idea how much it costs. I can't imagine it's a lot.
But you can buy them as a bundle as well, and sometimes when the Quest sales happen, they usually put them on a good discount as well.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think that about wraps up today's show. Unless anyone's got anything else that they wanted to bring up or cover off.
Nope, nothing else from me.
No. All right. Well, once again, goodbye from us. Goodbye to Alex.
Bye, Alex.
It's not going to be the same, but we shall try our best. But that's everyone. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, please tell your family and friends all about us. If you want to get more involved, there's a space to present the show now. So auditions will start from next week. If you'd like to submit your
if you just want to let us know in Discord or anything like that, yep, just
send that to if that's Games with T and you're looking for it, just send him all your entries.
Send me your audition on Discord and I'll put them in the group chat and we'll go from there. We'll get back to you. Okay.
So and nice plug there. Check out our Discord and say hello to everyone there. So I've been your host Laurie. These two have been Alex and Reece, and well, Reece and I will see you again next time. Until then, it's goodbye.
Bye.